We back in the trap, Rins Real Rap, all facts, no cat, home of music, sports, and culture. I'm your host, Rin Loco, and I got my special guest, Jason Johnson, in the building.
What's going on, everybody? How you feeling?
Jason is an entrepreneur, an activist, and a father of four. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you for bringing me on the show, man.
Man, I appreciate you coming in. You're doing a lot for the city and a lot for Baltimore, man. Tell the people what you're doing, what Black Wall Street Charm City is about.
Man, well, Black Wall Street Charm City is about recreating and reshifting the paradigm of our people's minds and allowing them to see the wealth potential that they could create for themselves and their family. You know, we're so stereotyped as a people, you know, that we need to, you know, shift that into a positive notation so that people can see that, you know, Black people are not only were at the bottom of the barrel at one point in time, but now we're taking heed and we're, you know, creating financial literacy, wealth potential. We're creating new business opportunities for ourselves. So Black Wall Street is about, you know, exposing those opportunities for the individuals who may not understand that they're out there for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of opportunity for our culture because people don't understand the reasoning behind Black Wall Street and the understanding behind it because they don't even know our history behind it. That's right. So what made you come up with Black Wall Street Charm City?
Unification was one. You know, and back in the early 1800s, you know, the original Black Wall Street started out in Durham, North Carolina, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, you know, their focus was about keeping the dollar fluctuating throughout the Black community.
So you see like a thing for Baltimore. So you named it Black Wall Street Baltimore.
Absolutely.
Charm City.
Yes.
So you saw like a thing that you can you can implement things in your own city.
That's right. Bring about that unification amongst our city. You know, it was done in Tulsa, it was done in Durham, you know, North Carolina. We can do it here also.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into the history because I'm definitely a history guy. So we gonna get into the history, but I want to know your background. I want to know your upbringing. So what part of Baltimore are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, Randallstown area.
Oh, Randallstown area. Yeah. So you coming up? Did you have like a one-parent household or a two-parent household?
I had a two-parent household.
Oh, so what was the dynamic between your mother and your father? Can you tell me like what they both brought into your life? Because I see you got like your head on street and like you got a lot of things going. So
yeah, man. So you know, my parents were. My father was 9 to 5. My mom was a 9 to 5. My father was a hard worker, so you know, I saw what it took to be able to, you know, climb the ladder if I chose to go that route in the corporate world. Mm-hmm. But I also understood that anything that you do in life, you need to have, you know, a hard work and great work ethic. And I saw that out of both of my parents. My mom was more of like the educator. She was a teacher in Baltimore City. You know,
what school she teach at?
Gilmore, down in the projects.
Okay, Gilmore Projects.
Yeah, so through her, I saw the philanthropy side of her. Okay. What it takes to give back. She's the one that showed me, you know, at an early age, down on Pennsylvania Avenue, giving back to the communities, clothes, food, you know, whatever the case may be. So I get a lot of that from my mother.
So what about your father? What things you learned from your father?
Hard work. You know, my father
Dedication.
was, yeah, man, he was head on. He was a hard worker, man. He'd get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Go punch that clock. He'd be down to 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then, you know, he would come back in school. I would have games. You know, he would always make sure he was at the game. So I you know, it showed me, you know, that, you know, being there for your kids, even though you have to work hard and you might be tired from, you know, the day-to-day activities.
Yeah, you gotta be there.
Yeah, you know, to just push through at the end of the day.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a few siblings. I got my sisters. I got some brothers, and you know, they're striving to become entrepreneurs. Okay. You know, but for mostly teachers, government working, you know, things of that nature.
So as far as like your kids, like do you implement the same thing your parents teach you to your own kids?
Oh yeah, I drown them in education. They don't have no choices. So you know, my parents were real strict on education, and you know, in order for us to strive to become greater individuals, you have to have some type of foundation, some level of education that'll propel you to the next level. You know, so I teach them pretty much the same things that I teach a lot of my students. You know, financial literacy, you know, the different avenues of how you can create wealth for yourself, you know, and you know, I get them up 7 o'clock in the morning, getting them working out.
7 o'clock? So you got them like a school schedule?
Yeah, man. I got them on a boot camp schedule. It's not a game. And you know why I did that? Because over in China, They start their days at 6 a.m.
and they economy booming. But
booming.
Go ahead.
They're like 10. China is 10 years ahead of us.
Right.
And,
they are though.
You know, over here in the States, they talk about, you know, China in such a bad way. But when you really research China and look at them, they're 10 years ahead of us financially, you know, wealth, you know what I'm saying? The education systems, it's just 10 years ahead of us. And if their kids can get up 5 to get on the move by 6:30, why can't my kids get up at 7 to get the ball rolling?
So you feel like American kids are like lazy?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I feel like that way too, because I always hear like foreigners, like when foreigners come over, they always be like, y'all lazy. And I'm like, why do they say they be lazy? Why they say lazy? And you just see the effort and how they raise their kids.
That's
it's
right.
like it's way different than Americans.
It's
like their hustle is way different. So that's a good thing that you teach them like foreign, like international business and like foreign things that other countries do, because they follow through with that. Because it's not only about what our country doing, it's about what the world's doing. Because we have to keep up. Because number one, like you said, China's number one.
That's right.
So that's a good thing
for now.
For now,
yeah.
You know, Black Wall Street is gonna help us push that agenda, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So, so growing up in Randallstown and other parts of Baltimore, like what was your influence? Like, what did you see that made you want to change things in your life? Because like you already know, in Baltimore, it's like a lot of violence, there's a lot of bad things going on. But what was the positive thing that you saw that you wanted to pursue?
For one, I've always been an entrepreneur. My entrepreneur days started in elementary school. You know, you go to the corner store, you get the sugar straws.
Oh, you said the sugar straw. Oh,
yeah, man. They don't know about the little plastic sugar straws, man.
He taking it back, man. He's taking the penny candy now. Like,
yeah, the little penny joint. Yeah. Get them for a penny, sell them for 5 cents.
Oh, man.
So, you know, being in town, you become an entrepreneur and you get to see the different surroundings from the city to the county, the privileges, and the ones who had to struggle. And coming up, you know, you want to be a blessing. You want to figure out what your mission and your purpose is. Mm-hmm. And, you know, growing and becoming older and making a lot of mistakes out here, you know, I realized that in order to make change, you have to be the change for yourself first. You have to look at yourself and see what it is that you can do to make change, you know. And one of the biggest things is I go to a lot of community meetings, right, around the city and the county.
Yeah.
And,
so how do you get your community meetings? Like, because I see you move around.
A lot of them are listed, but you know, that's the community meetings are one of the reasons why, you know, I shifted the way that I did, because you hear a lot of people saying like, oh well, the delegates, the councilman, mayor, the governor, nobody's doing this, nobody's doing that. But then when you look at it, we have all the resources to do it for ourselves. Why are we depending on the government to do something that we can do for ourselves as a people?
Right.
So that was my shift and my why I focused, you know, going towards Black Wall Street, Charm City.
Because you feel like you had an influence and you feel like you can step in and do better. Like, can you say you had everything listed? So what you do is combine your resources and you just look at everything together and then it's like pick out what event you want to go to or talk to this person or talk to this person. Or
well, I kind of look at so I do a lot of work in the Pennsylvania Avenue area and the Randallstown area. So I kind of hit all the meetings between like Park Heights, Pennsylvania Avenue, and
like
Randallstown.
The west side. Like
And you hear a lot of the same things over and over and over again. Yeah, why don't we have this? Why aren't y'all doing this? But it's like, why are we depending on them to do something that we can do?
Right. That's a fact though. Because you know what it is, because everybody is dependent. Like nobody have an independent mind. So everybody dependent on somebody. And when you dependent on somebody, it's a good thing.
It's a crutch.
But it's a bad thing. When I say it's a bad thing, you dependent on always rely on somebody.
That's right.
Now, a good thing is you can have a partner. Like, man, you can need each other.
That's right.
But we both strong. So, you know, we can lean on each other, but not just me leaning on you, just expecting you to do everything. That's when people misconfuse. You have to put in your own work for everything.
100%.
So, what high school you went to?
I went to Lansdowne.
Oh, you went to Lansdowne?
Yeah.
How long you, did you graduate from Lansdowne?
Yeah, I graduated from there. They, when I was in middle school, they came to my middle school and they had a business and finance program. I think they were the only one in the Baltimore area that had a business and finance program.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, you're right.
So I went there for those reasons alone.
Business and finance. So what did you learn? Like, what was the main thing that you learned from high school that made you want to like further your education after high school, as far as business and finance?
Yeah, so there were two things that I actually got off the program. The program was okay, but looking back on it, I would have changed some things because I didn't get what I really wanted out of it. But two things that I got from it, they had a job shadowing process. So what would happen is they would link you up with different businesses around the city, and you would sit with them for a day. Okay. So they sent me to T. Rowe Price.
And
I sat with one of the #1 stockbrokers in Baltimore. At the time, I was naive and I didn't really understand. But by the end of the day with him, I asked him, I said, so how much do you make? He said, I do about $10 to $20 million. I said, $10 to $20 million. I said, well, what do you do again? Mind you, I'm with this guy for an entire day, going from meeting to meeting, answering the phones for him, doing stuff on the computer, and it's not registering to me.
How old are you?
I think it was about 14.
14, damn. 14, yeah, you saying 14. That? I know that messed your mind up.
So I was like, man, stocks? Okay, so it stuck in the back of my head, the stocks, the market, it just stuck with me. Another thing was one of my teachers, I would, what they call it, you shadow them at the end of the day or like a couple periods.
Not an intern.
Like a teacher's aide or something.
Teacher aide, yeah.
Right, so I was a teacher's aide with one of my teachers. His name was Phil Bressler. Mm-hmm. And one day he said, look, you're going to help me out. I need you to set these tables up. I have some people coming through that you're going to, sit in on this meeting with me. I'm like, okay, cool. Set the table up. He says, when they come, I want you to bring them down to, the classroom. And I go and I get he had about 6 or 7 people come through. So they're sitting there having this meeting, and I'm sitting in the back and they're talking about Chick-fil-A. They're talking about $1 million this, $1 million this. I'm like, man, so when the meeting was over, I said, so what was this all about? He said, oh, these are all my business partners. We own a number of Chick-fil-A's around the country, Domino's Pizzas, and a plethora of other companies. He said, you see that guy over there? He said, he's the accountant for Michael Jordan. I'm like, what?
Amazing.
It just shifted me. And I'm like, why are you teaching? You're teaching and you make millions of dollars a year. He says, yeah, I give my school paycheck away to charity. It's a tax write-off.
Oof. Must be nice.
Yeah. Those two events alone, always made me see that there's a new level of wealth that I need to get to.
So it gave you the hunger for more than for knowledge and wisdom to get to that point.
Yeah.
Jeez. So at the high school, what did you do? You did military, college, anything?
Yeah. After high school, I went straight into college to learn how to program. But program was some bullshit. I couldn't do it.
You said, what you mean by program? Can you explain?
Java plus, like computer programming, learning different languages to create applications or websites or video games. Oh, wow. It's a language to create for the computer systems. But it wasn't my niche. So I ended up leaving, going into HVAC. HVAC was cool, but I ended up getting fired off my first job because I couldn't pass the drug screen, So.
And we all know about that. This Baltimore. We all been through it. We had people that went through it, but it happens. But kept on striving to make things better.
Kept on. So, going to the military was always something I wanted to do anyway. So I said, well, I'm not doing anything. I keep messing up with everything else.
How old was you when you joined the military?
I think like 18.
Oh, you was young.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So when you joined, like you said, you just joined. So was it like a random thing, or was like, if all fails, I got this to bank on?
Actually, it was a recruiter that stopped by. I used to work at Cinnabon in Security Mall. So it was actually
a
recruiter a recruiter stopped by and he was talking to me. And I was like, yeah, man, I've always thought about going to the military. And he was at my door like the very next day, schooling me on what I needed to do to pass the ASVAB test. And within like a week, I had passed the tests and I was on my way in like a week and a half. Like literally a week and a half after he came to my house, I was gone.
So what did he say to make you join? Because I had a lot of recruiters come to my colleges. As my brother Marley, like we used to be in college, we used to walk around. They always recruit us, always try to recruit us. Like, so what was the thing that made you want to do it? Like, did you already have that warrior soul in your mind? Like,
it was passed down from my father because he was in the military, Vietnam.
I was just about to say that because I see a lot of people that have like older relatives that was a part of it, so that's why they joined. But I don't never get why new people do it.
Yeah, it was just always a hunger. I always say it to myself: if I come into a predicament where I need to defend myself, I want to know how to defend myself wholeheartedly. I want to know tactics. I want to mentally be all in on how to defend myself. And I know going into the military, you learn those tactics.
So what was your position in the military?
I was 11 Bravo. They you call us grunts. We the frontline soldiers.
Is that similar like to Marines?
I wouldn't say similar to Marines. They don't like to compare us to anybody.
I know. That's why I kind of like, because I know how they are with the Army. They be like, you say Marines or the Navy, they go crazy. So that's why I kind of like, but it's something similar to like an attack squad, like a frontline attack squad. Yeah. So like dealing with that and coming back, like how was it, like your reform, like getting your mind back into reality, as far as being a civilian again?
It was okay, but when you look at it, a lot of times we look at civilians as being lazy. Okay. But that's not always the case. They just mentally train you to think that way. But it was cool. I had an incident while I was in the military and I got paralyzed. That was the reason why I actually ended up getting out. Yeah. So the transition from being paralyzed to walking again was mental toughness, a new level of mental toughness. And I said to myself, if I can get myself out of this mentally, I can conquer anything in life.
So you said you was paralyzed before. Can you tell people, because people think once you paralyzed, it's like it's over for you. Like, so it's like stages to paralyzed. Like you can actually walk again and feel again and do the same thing that you did before.
Yeah. But for me, it was, the doctor said, well, you're going to be able to walk again. We just don't know when.
Sheesh. Like, so what was your rehabilitation? Like, how long was it? Like, and what did you have to do?
Like, it took me about a good 2 years to fully recover. It took me about, I want to say 8 months to be able to walk again. Jeez. And that was mental toughness. Them telling you, oh no, don't push too hard. Give yourself time. It didn't register with me. My mother's a woman of faith, and she would always come to the hospital room and say, you got to be mentally tough. You got to pray. You got to stay strong.
That's how my grandmother was.
It's about the power of manifestation. You have to visualize yourself, seeing yourself walking again. And, those words that she gave me allowed me to see myself walking, allowed me to see myself pushing day in and day out. I'm going to walk regardless of what y'all say. And it happened.
Like perseverance.
That's right.
That's one thing, like, I see, like, your family do, like, they surround you and they support you and you get perseverance. Like, I even see it with your wife and, like, your kids now. That's a great thing moving forward. So after the military and everything, like, as far as, like, your journey, I know you went through a lot as far as, like, to building Black Wall Street where it is today. So what was things that you had to overcome before you got to Black Wall Street?
Just finding myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was young, coming out of the military, and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. Back in the IT was one thing, but I always said, okay, well, if I go back into IT, I'm not going to stay in a position where I'm going to be working for somebody else. I need to figure out what it is that I need to do so that I can create this level of wealth that I want to create for myself and my family. And, when I had my daughter,
Is she oldest?
Yeah, she's my oldest. She's 13. Okay. It really made me understand that I need to dig deep and, get some things together. So I went on and got into IT, and I was doing IT for about 10 years. And throughout that 10-year time frame, I was able to, structure some businesses. Some failed, some went well, and, it got me to the point that I'm at now. I know business. I know how to market. I know how to brand. I know how to make my own money, so I figure if I could do that for myself, I can teach somebody else to do the same thing. They might take it to the next level, and that's what I want them to do.
And that's the thing, I do like what you just said, because like people will be so focused on themselves, they don't want to get back to the next generation the generation after them. That's right. So it's like one thing about me, I always keep saying I don't want to be the only podcast, the only this, because it got to be people after me, like far as younger, far as fresh, like just to impact the culture, because what's better than 1? 2. Right. What's better than 2? 4. Right. So we get everybody collective, and bring our positive mind, our positive influence together. It can make things better. That's right. By you saying that let me know that you're ready to worry about the next generation and the generation after next.
That's right. And they're the ones, man. Like back in the day when I remember when I was in school one time and they somebody was visiting. They said, yeah, so what do you want to do when you get older? And you heard a lot of dudes saying, man, I don't even know if I'm gonna live past 21.
That's a fact though. I was a product of that. Like me and all my homeboys, my brothers and everything.
And like you look at that and it's like, what makes you say this? Like,
Because it's the environment we live in. It's like it's a do or die mentality. Like you know how it is. Like you even gotta be even involved in the streets or even be involved. It's just the environment in the city that we live in.
It's the environment.
Jealousy, and envy. People, it's evil. Yeah.
I don't think it's more so jealousy. I just think it's more so the environment and what they see on a day-to-day basis. You out here, you jamming, you know what I'm saying? You out here, you trapping. My man just got knocked off because, somebody was jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what's another alternative versus that? There's e-commerce.
That's true.
You got e-commerce, you got stocks, you got foreign exchange markets. I used to sell candy. You could sell candy. You could sell, whatever it is. But a lot of clothing lines, But a lot of times these kids, they don't see the opportunity behind it. So individuals like us have to expose them to the plethora of opportunities that are out here for them.
Okay, I gotta be a devil advocate. I'm on your side, but I gotta be devil. So what would give them an opportunity to see what you see? Because like majority of these kids, nobody love them. They don't have a support system.
Right.
Number two, they're in the streets.
Right.
Like, so they have to fend for themselves. So it's like one of those things. Like, where do they find the helping hand? And then people that they let in, fuck them over.
You got to show them, man. So I teach in the school system, and I'm also in the community on a regular basis. So these kids not only see me at school, they see me in their communities.
Yeah, and that's great, though. That's definitely great.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a difference between you always keep seeing people, but you actually see them around. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
I can't just go in anybody's neighborhood and think I'm just going to grab hold of their kids.
Right.
Like you said, there's jealousy. So I have to be mindful of what I do in the community, how I approach people.
Yeah.
So my thing is to make an omnipresence. In business, you want to make an omnipresence. You want your brand to be known. So you have to make it known who you are in the demographic area. So I make it known who I am by serving the community.
Right.
Food, clothes, hats, socks, gloves, whatever the case may be. You see me in the community, now you see me in the school.
Right.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you did just see me. Yeah, what's up? How you feeling, brother? Oh, okay, cool. Now you feel a little more comfortable to talk to me because you see that I'm out here. And
you disarm people after a while, like, cause like you have a presence, like it's not a threat. Like I'm trying to boast. It's like I'm trying to help.
Right.
So it's the difference between you kind of like, yeah, I'm this, and it's different between like you coming in like, I just want to help y'all.
That's right.
It's because people don't like threats, and the whole thing is like people look at a threat, like even though you have a suit and everything, they look at you as a threat in a bad way, like, oh, you uppity or you're big, you think you're bigger than them.
Yeah.
Really, you present yourself like I changed my life. I came from where y'all came from, and I can do the same thing y'all do. Y'all can do the same thing I do. My bad, but do it better.
That's right.
I'm just giving y'all the blueprint and the formation, the platform, even to do it.
A lot of times they just want relatability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, if you can relate to them in some form or fashion, they'll be willing to open up to you. And I see a lot of kids. It usually takes me a good 2 weeks to get some of them to open up.
Yeah, it takes me a little bit, but eventually you'll get them.
But when they open up, man, their minds are so sharp, and you're like, man, like, what are they even teaching you? You know what I'm saying? The school system and what they're educating these kids is.
They don't teach them, like, especially like even when we was coming up, like we knew, but it wasn't. I know I got more of my education, like my formal education, like my higher education, after like 17, 18. Like when I say like really knowing what's going on.
But then we got it in little pieces.
Yeah, that's why I say I really know what's going on after that. Like everything I learned before, I had to restructure and reframe everything because everything I learned before was a lie. Yeah. So I had to reframe so that I get where you're coming from. Like you can say it, but it's about presentation too, though.
That's right.
So as far as like the Black Wall Street, I know you asked you why did you name it Black Wall Street, because that's a big name in the Black culture.
That's right.
So I know a lot of people will be asking you, do you know your history? Do you know where did it come from? So I know you said it came from Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah, Tulsa and Durham.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people know about Tulsa, but can you elaborate on the Durham?
Well, Durham, they started out like in the 1800s, maybe a little bit before Tulsa. Mm-hmm. Durham is more known for the real estate brokerages, the
insurance,
the life insurance companies and insurance companies. They they were more down that lane. Okay. Tulsa, Oklahoma, they were the established churches, businesses, hospitals.
Yeah,
they had a more a bigger framework going on down there, and I can appreciate that because they wanted to keep that dollar fluctuating within the community.
And it's so funny. It worked for so long, though. It worked for so long, but I hear a lot of people like, we got to do that again. It's different now. We got Amazon. We got all this other different entities.
I don't even think it's because we have Amazon and other things. I just think that our culture needs to reshift how we view each other.
I agree.
You know, we downplay each other a lot of times, and we bash each other a lot of times, and we call each other lazy, and, you know, other cultures may call us lazy, and we take heed to a lot of things that we've been hearing over the years. So we've heard, now we find a reason to why we're seeing it. You know, you catch what I'm saying a little bit?
Yeah, so, all right, so what that is, like, how can we get everybody with our culture, like even starting off in Baltimore, like to get it like a Greenwood, Tulsa, or a Parish Street in Durham, North Carolina, or a Rosewood, Florida. Like, how can we get it back to, like, when you say like the black dollars was fluctuating? You know, even though we have like a lot of different entities that we can purchase, like how can we still lift each other up without feel like we selling out type shit?
Honestly, I kind of believe we're doing it now.
I do see more now.
I think our beast has been risen because of events that have been happening over the course of the past 5 years. We just have to continue to keep the momentum going. You know, doing what we're doing. This is exposing to somebody else that may not have had an idea of what Black Wall Street is. Now I'm gonna research what Black Wall Street is. Oh, well, I had no idea what e-commerce was. You know what I'm saying? It's about exposing us, and at the same time, bringing about our businesses to work together. You know, we can't build anything by doing it alone. One company can't do it alone. One nonprofit can't do it alone. You know, so I got to work with this nonprofit over here. I got to work with this business over here. How do we collaborate and unify so that we can make something big happen?
That's definitely a good thing. So far as like nonprofit, what was the steps for you getting nonprofit?
To be honest with you, was just trying to find somebody who can make it happen. Gotcha. You know, a lot of times we don't know the steps, but
yeah, it's just like you learn along the way.
Yeah, so that was my thing. I didn't know how to make a nonprofit, and in the process of starting a nonprofit, I knew that my steps were, I want to have a meetup monthly. My meetups monthly will expose businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs to business growth potential or avenues that they can go down in business. So I said, well, even though I don't have my 501c3, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start these meetups. Even though I don't have my 501c3.
You're building momentum, like you're building the network.
That's
like
right.
You still build a network between people, like you communicating, like y'all sharing the same language, y'all doing everything together. So it's like, it's not like you're just sitting back waiting on your big payday and then go out and make it happen. Like you're already making it happen already.
Yeah. So, you know, I did it. I took one step in front of the other. And as I was doing the meetups, I ran into somebody who knew how to set up my 501c3. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do that. That got done. Oh, you got your 501c3? We could put you in a school. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, cool. You got your 501c3? You thought about serving community food during the pandemic? Yeah, I'm with that. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do it. So it had a momentum behind it. And, you know, it's all about having that faith and just taking that one step and that one step and that one step and being blind to what that next step is going to have in front of you.
So you saying having faith, like what's your main thing on stepping out on faith? Like what's like your number one step on stepping out on faith? Fail forward. I saw you had that on your Instagram post. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, fail forward. You know, you're gonna fail at hundreds of things. You know, you as a child, you failed hundreds of times tying your tennis shoe. You know, right. But you kept going. You kept going forward trying to tie that shoe, and eventually you got it. So in order to pursue greatness in life, you have to be able to take those failures and move forward with it.
That's a fact, because like failing forward, like when I saw you said that, I'm like, yo, I failed so many times.
Yeah, man.
I felt so many times. Like people would see me like now, they see me like, I'm not perfect, but they see like a almost finished product. Yeah. I'm nowhere near finished. But
they look at you of who you used to be and have an interpretation of who you should be now. But then when they look at you, they're like, oh, well, he, you know, ain't the same, Rin.
Yeah, because they always say like you the same, like far as personality, but like far as like your maturity and growth and everything, I'm like a whole nother level. Like, and they see me and I'm like, I'm still the same nigga. I'm still there. But they be like, no, I see different than you. So that's a good thing that make me feel good. Like, okay, I'm growing. Right. So as far as like starting your business, like what can you tell an entrepreneur as far as capital? Because most entrepreneurs, they be scared of trying to build up a capital or try to raise money for their own self. So they be scared to jump out there for themselves. So what can you say to the entrepreneur that's trying to start their business?
That's a good question, because I actually, with my students, I think the last class I had with them, we talked about credit. And a lot of people think that it takes a long time to build credit. And I said, you know what? For the individual who knows nothing, it would take them a long time to build credit. I said, but they have these things called trade lines, right? I said, you get a trade line and you put it on your credit.
Hold on, you ain't telling nothing illegal, man.
No, this is all legal.
It's legal?
Yeah, this is all legal.
Why?
This is all legal.
We do illegal and legal at RinsRealRap, but that's a disclaimer.
This is all legit. So you are, if you have a credit card at home, right? And let's say your credit card limit is $50,000. You take care of your monthly payments. Your credit card is good. You can put me on your credit card as an authorized user.
Oh, got you.
And that is considered a trade line on my credit report.
Oh, okay,
right.
Got you.
So when you're going into business, I'll say one of the good things, the best things that you can do is look to get capital from your bank or your SBA. Okay. Because you hear like the sharks and other people saying, "Oh no, you need to go get these loans." Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go around asking you for $5, you for $5, everybody for $5.
Yeah.
And it take me forever and a day to get the money.
You're gonna be behind.
I could just go get a loan for the amount of money that I need and, go full throttle what I need to do, but you got to have a plan.
I like how you said that, because people just think because like you have a idea, because you can have an idea all you want. We all have ideas, but you have to have a plan.
Yeah,
you have to plan to actually get the task in hand done, and you have to have a task to return the money.
That's right.
And you have to have a task of gaining more money.
That's right. That's right.
If y'all get that, if you know business, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So it's a whole game that you have to play. So it's like people just want money. Like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I got this idea. Yeah, you have an idea, but what's the plan behind the idea?
That's right.
What's the plan of action?
You gotta have those plans, those goals, those milestones, the individuals that you need to bring to the forefront to help you bring those goals and the mission to fruition.
So, like, as far as like the climate we in today, like, how do you feel about being a black man? Because I know you're a father, like you're a husband, you're a son.
Oh man, I love it, but at the same time, it's scary.
I know, it really is scary today, though. Like,
yeah, man, I got to sit down and have a conversation with my son about, why did he get killed, Daddy? Why did they shoot him, Daddy? Or why did they shoot him in the back, Daddy?
How many times do you have to tell him that? Because it just happened last month in Atlanta. I forgot the guy's name. Yeah. And it happened with George Floyd in June. So how many times, and then it just happened with the guy in Wisconsin, Jacob Blake. And
you have to change how society is now. I have to change what I say to my son, I don't recommend going out here being violent.
Right.
But your life matters. So defend yourself at all costs now. It goes from a point where, do what the police say. Put your hands on the steering wheel.
But you can do everything right, though.
You can do everything right and they'll still kill you. So am I supposed to tell my son to abide by your laws or tell him to defend himself at all costs?
It's tricky, though.
It's tricky. I would rather my son defend himself at all costs.
Okay. So what about your daughter? Because
I would rather her defend herself at all costs.
It's a lot going on with black females and like the male. Like I feel like right now the climate of the black culture, I feel like we in a divide. Maybe it's just me. I'm probably looking into it, but I just feel like I just see like a lot of a back and forth. And back and forth can be good, but I don't like the back and forth when it be negative when you're assaulting people.
Right.
So I want to get you to understand get your input on what you feel like the climate of the black culture right now moving forward with the black man and black woman, because you're married, you're successful. So what advice can you say for as a married man that you in with a family that you can give advice to other single men that's looking for what you have in a family that move forward, because you keep everything together and that's hard to do as a black man.
Yeah, it really is. One thing I would say is if you don't have a relationship with God, you need to find that relationship with God. You can't expect to create an environment where He is the creator. You know what I'm saying? So you have to humble yourself and have an understanding of his will and his will for you. So if you don't have a firm understanding of who God is or have some type of relationship with him, you're going to be blind and you're going to be picking the wrong pieces and the wrong partners to bring to you because you're not attracting what it is he has for you.
And I always hear people say you have to have God first in a relationship. Like, can you elaborate on that? Because like, I don't think people understand like the full thing that means with having God first.
Absolutely, man. And being able to keep my family together starts with God, you know. And one thing that's hard work is I get up in the morning and I have like a daily routine where I do my devotions and I do my prayer. After I do my devotion and my prayer, now I'm going to my wife and I'm praying over my wife. I'm speaking life into her. I'm going to my kids. I'm praying over my kids. I'm speaking life into my kids. You know, that's draining. You know,
it is.
But it has to be done. It has to be done. I'm the protector and overseer of my house.
Yes.
And if I have a relationship with God and God is my protector of my household, it is my duty, responsibility, and obligation to be the protector and overseer of my family by blessing them with the prayer that I have to give.
That's powerful, man. That's definitely powerful. Like that. Like that's one thing. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that's in relationships and married, but you're one of the people that I look up to, and that make me want to like live that lifestyle and want to have a wife and kids and be that strong black family. Because you and your wife shout to y'all need plates. I mean purple plates. But I see y'all do y'all thing and y'all power couple because y'all. It's not one. I don't see one of y'all as weaker than the other one.
That's right.
I see both of y'all as equal and like y'all both powerful.
That's right.
So and then I see y'all kids. Y'all got beautiful kids and y'all say smart and beautiful. And then it's like one of them things like I see y'all always advancing. I never see y'all stagnant ever. It don't matter what y'all go through. We all have problems.
Yeah,
all have problems.
As the head of the household, you got to keep that momentum going.
Got you. So how do you keep that going? Like as far as young men, raising their families, can you give them advice? Keep it forward.
I look at my house and my family as a business.
Which it is, but
it is. It is. So me and my wife have to have business meetings about the house. They call it pillow talk. So at the end of the day, I'm running.
You running around.
At the end of the day, before I close my eyes, what's going on? What's on the agenda? What happened with the house today? How the kids do? How did business go for you today? What do we need to improve on in our relationship? What haven't we done? What dates haven't we went on? We have to work on our relationship as if it's a business, because if we don't look for the improvements that need to be made, we'll fail.
That's real rap. Like people understand when you're in a relationship, it's literally got to check in with each other. It's like literally like a progress report. Like, okay, what's going on?
That's right.
Like and then you have kids, so that's a whole nother faction of your family that you have to take care of. You have to take care of each other and you have to take care of your kids.
That's right. And they're part of those business meetings. Right. When if I'm home in time and we have dinner together, I need a rundown on what y'all did today. If I gave you duties to do around the house or I had my kids researching stocks and some other things, I need to know what you did. Let me know. Let me see where your progress is so that we can know how to take you to the next level.
So what's the main thing that you feel like the black woman brings to the black man?
Man, everything. I know my queen, she brings a lot. Those moments like what you just had, you kind of stuck, they're diverse. They just think on a higher level, so they're able to feed you what it is that you're searching for.
Right. Without you even asking, you be like, how'd she know that?
Yeah, like, she's on it, and I wouldn't have the success that I have now if it wasn't for my wife.
I had a lot of married men say that, especially successful married men.
Because at the end of the day, who are you going to be more than likely bouncing your ideas off of?
I see my girl, but it's really my wife. But you know how I make it sexy. That's my girl.
Yeah.
but you bounce it off like your lady, and then the whole thing is your lady is majority everything. Like she literally listen to everything you say. Right. She know your schedule. She know everything. Right. So it's one of those things. She kind of see your vision. And she add to you. She might not see it all the way, but she put the pieces to the puzzle to build you up.
That's right.
And she always make sure that she might not know everything that's going in your head, but she paying attention enough and she love you enough just to even see what she can implement and what she can do next.
That's right.
And that's how you know you got a queen though.
Yeah, man.
You got a lot of peasants out here. You got a lot of birds.
Scripture says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
That's what I always heard that verse, and I'm about to get married, man. Next year. But like far as like giving back every week, I see you giving back every week in Randallstown. Can you tell people more about that on Liberty and Burnbrook? What you be doing for the culture?
Yeah, man. On Wednesdays and Thursdays we give back to the community. Wednesdays I do the Pennsylvania Avenue area. Thursdays I do Randallstown.
So you do. Wednesday you do Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to pull up to the 17. Shout out to Zone 17. You know, Code 17. I got to pull up. Yeah. So you do that Wednesday. You do Randallstown on Thursday.
Thursdays.
Because I did the Randallstown all the time.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's up. So how often have you been doing that?
I've been doing it since the pandemic started.
I saw you doing before though.
Well, but prior it was more like hot meals and clothes and school supplies and things of that nature.
Okay.
But by COVID, taking away a lot of job opportunities for individuals, people are really deciding on whether they're going to spend their last $10 on gas or go to the grocery store and spend it on food.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I had a gentleman maybe 2 Thursdays ago who said, hey man, he said, man, I really appreciate what y'all did. He said, man, I was driving by. He said, man, I'm about to go into surgery tomorrow. And he said, I really didn't have any money to put food in my house. And he said, I'm going to be stuck in the house for 2 weeks after I get my surgery. And I'm like, wow, like this was God sent. This ain't me, bro. You know what I'm saying? This was God allowing me to be in this position to bless you, bro.
I love how you said that, because you never take like credit for something. You always say this God sent, and like God put everybody together and make things happen for a reason.
100%. Man.
What you do, that's a big thing. I posted on my page a couple of times, and people just hit me like, "How can I help?" Black Wall Street, Charm City, like.
And you all coming out to help, man. We're literally feeding over 500 families a week.
Yeah, that's real rap, though.
From homeless, the single mother household to the individual brother who's just struggling on his own. We're blessing like over 500 families a week, bro.
So what made you want to get back though? What was the main thing?
It's just innate in me. When my mother was down Gilmore Projects and she was teaching, I'll never forget. She said, all your old clothes that you don't wear, she said, go get them and put them in a bag. The shoes that you don't wear anymore, put them in a bag. And I said, okay. So she put all the stuff in the bag, and we went to the grocery store, and she was grabbing all types of stuff, fruit, canned goods, meats, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what is she doing? So we went down Gilmore Projects, and she's like, all right, grab all this stuff and go knock on this door. I was like, all right, cool, grab it.
So you used to actually go like door to door? Like,
no, this was an individual family that she knew.
Oh,
but I didn't know what she was doing. So we knocked on this door, and she's like, hey, my mother's like, hey, I got all of this stuff for you. And I'm like, wow, she just gave all this food, these clothes to this individual. And it was a single mom with 5 kids in the house, and they literally had no food in the house. The entire family was living off a net bag of oranges. That's all they had to eat until my mother pulled up with giving them at least 3 weeks worth of food. And seeing that, it was kind of like a flashback to see that, and it was like, oh man, I need to be doing this, because right now people are dealing with that right now.
Especially with this pandemic going on.
That's right, man.
Like families are struggling, and it's hard.
It's hard, man.
It's real hard. Like I never. Like, we've been living for a minute. Like, we not old, but it's like we saw a lot. But this is one of the things. Like, this is like
this a game changer.
This a whole nother ball game. Even with the plight that we in now, like the climate that we in now, as far as like the Black Lives Matter, like the social injustice. Even the kids going back to school, like the whole education system. Nothing is the same no more. Everything is like off.
Yeah, we gotta walk around with these damn masks. I can't.
We got masks everywhere.
That's over. I can't stand wearing these masks.
Do you feel like things ever going to be the same? Or you just feel like everything is going to stay the same?
No, nothing's ever the same. But it's room for improvement. We have to learn to adapt and grow. And being where we are now, it's going to take mental toughness.
Yeah.
It's going to take trying to find different avenues of how to make money. People are so comfortable with where they are in life that they can't see the other opportunities that are in front of them. And by them not being open-minded, they stay stagnant, and they're not able to grasp hold of the opportunities that they can, grasp for themselves.
So you say comfortable, because I definitely agree with you. But one thing I had to realize, I'm like, okay, how can I make somebody not comfortable no more? How can I make their mindset change?
Yeah.
Because you know how, like when we was coming out, we always had this mentality, but it was that one thing that made us like snap out of it. We were like, hold up, like I'm back into it. Like, you realize, like, this is what I need to be doing. This is the path I need to be doing. I don't need to be on the block selling drugs or gang banging and doing that. I can be open up Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
I can be doing this. I can open up Blueprint. I can open up anything.
I think it starts with your surroundings and who you hang out with on a consistent basis. Sure. You know, because if I'm hanging around people who are yes men and yes women,
I do not like yes men. I can't.
How can we grow?
Because that's the thing. When you grow, it's uncomfortable, and a lot of people be uncomfortable with the growth. So that's another thing. You can weed out your friend, your so-called friends, and people that don't make you grow. Like you want to grow. If I feel comfortable with every situation, then I'm not growing.
That's right.
I didn't figure it out.
I remember one of my mentors, named Andre Vaughn, and you know, we were all sitting around having a conversation, and you know, they were talking about, you know, financials and, you know, type of money and type of moves that they were making, and, you know, telling them what it was that I was doing. They were like, "That's it? That's all you were doing?" And I was like, it's steps though. Like, why everybody feel like that you have to like you're gonna just shoot to the top? See, I don't think it was more so shooting to the top. It was more so putting the hunger in me.
See, I like that though. See, I like how you corrected me and you make me realize they wasn't they challenged you.
Yeah.
They wasn't trying to make you demean you. They was challenging you because
it's not like they didn't want me around. They wanted me around. But I want you around seeing the progress that we're making so you can make the same strides.
Right.
You know?
They put that hunger in you. So, because listen, this is a good question for you. What makes you, like, make people hungry? Because, like, I could easily be around them. I'm like, oh, you got that on? oh, you doing that? Like, you know, even I might even feel that way about it, but I want them to know that, oh, we off that. Like, we on something new.
Right.
Like, we advancing.
I like to listen to people's goals.
Yeah, like, oh,
you know, like,
you always... That's one thing I can say about you. Every time I get around you, you do ask me that though. Like, if I ain't been around you in a minute, that's,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you have going on? What are you striving for? What do you know, what do you have coming on down the line that you want to do? And, you know, based off of that, I feel being honest and making people uncomfortable is the way that they'll be able to grow, because people, you know, say what they don't say what they want to say, but they say the things to me that allows me to grow. My mentors, you know, they're straightforward. Like, oh, well, you did this. Oh, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you do that? You said that's what you wanted to do. And why didn't you do it? You know, so sometimes you have to have the realization that, you know, maybe I was slacking, or maybe I'm not doing enough of this, or maybe I'm just being lazy on this. Somebody has to bring it to the forefront sometimes for you to see it. And it's uncomfortable to hear the lack of progress that you're making because of what you did not do.
And it's like, I always feel like it's always room for improvement. Like, I can wake up and people like, yo, oh, I like this, or I like that, or you did this good, or nah, I don't like it, because I always fucking do better.
That's right.
Or I always feel like I can edit. Like,
that's right.
I'm the edit king. My twin brother will be like, yo, you're the follow-up king and you the editing king, nigga. Like, yo, I will edit something and I will follow up on something just because I'm trying to I'm trying to get there.
That's right. And you're surrounded around that. Like, we're in the same circle.
Right.
You know, so when we see each other, it's always love. It's always, bro, what you doing? And it was like, oh, I ain't with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, that's cool. Like, that ain't my lane. But, you know, it's about who you hang around. If I'm hanging around individuals who are looking to grow to, you know, to the next level, I'm naturally going to grow to the next level because we all are synchronized on the same level of energy.
That's real rap, though.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, you got this business too. You looking all spiffy and everything.
I appreciate you.
You looking all magnificent, beautiful black brother that you are. What type of music do you listen to? Because, like, you listen to, like, you know, like, Classic Man and everything. So, what do you listen to?
I do a little classic, but I'm a money bag, yo.
Yeah?
Type of, yeah.
What money bag you like?
I go off for money bag, yo, and
you fuck with Gotti and all of them? You like the old CMG?
I like Gotti. Gotti, all right. Gotti, all right. He got he got a new single out and shit. I don't know the name of it, but the little Drake with the little face mask on it. You seen that?
They came out this last weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked it out. It's cool.
Yeah,
it ain't better than the Recession Proof, the other one he dropped, but like, it's cool. So who else you like?
I'm an R&B dude. Chris Brown. I'm a big fan of Chris Brown.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody shouted out the motherfucking current king of pop and everything, Chris Brown.
Yes, man.
Because, you know, we got other haters that, you know, people that say they don't like Chris Brown, but they listen to him. But, you know, it happens to, you know, us all. But, you know, like, who else you listen to, like, as far as R&B? Because I'm a big R&B guy.
I don't know no names. To be honest with you, there's so many artists out here that let's do. I'm on Tidal, so I listen.
You want the playlist?
I
God, you want to know people?
So
Everybody sounding like that. Do you think everybody sounding like that? Because I get it like that. Because
I listen to Sir.
Okay, you like Sir?
Yeah,
right. He cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm
you
diversified.
Like Summer Walker, SZA.
Yeah.
You like,
I definitely like
Summer
Walker. Yeah.
Tiller.
Yeah. And what's my girl name? With the big lips, R&B shorty, dancer.
Ooh, she dance?
She just had a CD come out. A CD. I'm old. She just had a track album come out.
Oh, Tiana Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, Tiana Taylor. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Tiana. Yeah. Her album was good, and she not.
Yeah.
Woo, I'm just gonna leave that alone, But so far as like so you listen to R&B more than you listen to rap, or is it like a balance?
It depends on my mood.
Mine too. I don't listen to rap until like after like 10, 11 and AM, PM. Like between that lunch hour break. When I first started off, I gotta be slow and chill.
Yeah, I'll do James Brown in the morning.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do James Brown in the morning. He get me going.
Oh, all right. So do you listen to any sports radio and anything?
No.
I'll
try to catch ESPN because my schedule's not how it used to be.
I know. It's because sports is mainly in the morning too, though.
Yeah, so I'll try to catch ESPN and catch up on highlights, but I don't really catch.
So I gotta ask you, who's your favorite football team?
Oh, the Ravens, of course.
So since we talking about the Ravens, who's your favorite Raven all the time? Since you a Raven fan,
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal? Why you like Jamal? I didn't think you was gonna say that. Like, why you say Jamal? I like Jamal. Bro. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me fucked up.
We got that chip off of him.
Nah. You saw the 2000?
Yeah, man.
We got that. We got all the
him
defense.
And Jermaine, that sideline run. Come on, yo.
Yeah, but Jamal, that was Jamal rookie year. So I give it to him. He was beast. I think Jamal didn't get to his prime to like the third or fourth year, I believe. Now he did good. Priest Holmes is he was doing his thing for real. They was on the same team for real. But Jamal, I didn't think he was gonna say that though. I like Jamal though. I like random shit. Like who your second favorite? Who your second favorite Raven?
Ray Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah, even though he, I don't know what's wrong with him now, but
that's how I feel. People like, yo, what you said about Ray? I said I love him as a player, but as a person, it's like, it's alright.
Yeah. So I don't know, but one of all football, one of my favorites is LeBron.
Oh, I was just about to go to basketball. So who's your favorite basketball player?
He's not my favorite basketball player. I just like his business mind.
Okay.
From opening up charter schools to the different clothing.
He did so much more than the game.
Yeah, man.
He did so much beyond the game,
man.
Like when you meet people like that, like I say, you meet people like I know LeBron, eventually I'm LeBron, RinsRealRap, but it's like when you see like people just do things outside the field or outside the lines, outside the studio or anything, like. Like, yo, he really got a heart and a mind. Yeah. Like, he really know what he's doing. Like, man. He really trying to lead the next generation.
That's right.
Like, and you don't get that. Like, everybody be so selfless. Everybody will worry about their name. And like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. LeBron's that nigga. LeBron will put it on the line.
And he give it back to his city tenfold. And back to our conversation, it's going to take those celebrities and individuals that make it out of Baltimore to be able to come back to build Baltimore.
That's a fact. I saw you, speaking of a celebrity, a local celebrity, Stokey. I saw you out with Stokey last year. What was that about?
We were at I believe we were at a networking event. I don't even remember.
Okay.
I ran into him at least one or two times, but he was just out, kind of talking about what it is that he's looking to do in the city and, what he's doing now. And I respect him, man, because he's doing so much in the city. I know he does a shoe drive once a year with New Balance. Just giving kids in the community shoes, man. Like I love that, but it takes individuals like that for us to work together so that if he's doing shoes, I can do shoes too, because now he can connect me with how he does what he do. Now you're giving shoes out to a community over here and I'm giving shoes out to a community over here. It takes that building the bridges of business, of organizations to be able to make things happen.
So what can you bring to Baltimore? Like, because like, this is like one of the Baltimore podcasts. Like, I want everybody around the city to know what value do you bring to Baltimore.
I would say me.
Like, but yeah, because you is Jason Johnson and Black Wall Street, because you know you're the head of Black Wall Street, so it starts with you. So what do you feel like as Jason Johnson, and what do you feel like Black Wall Street Charm City can bring to Baltimore?
I think I'm going to bring a new platform. There are a lot of organizations out here that serve the community, but I'm looking to serve on a higher level. Okay. You know, education is one thing, and I'm wholeheartedly focused on shifting the mindsets of our youth. You know, we're older. You know, they always say you got about 25 to 30 summers left, right? You know, so we need to work on the youth. We need to really be able to grab their minds, you know, because they're plotting on our youth. For instance, so we had a student, had a low record, right? But he was 16, had a record, he back and forth to court, right? Had no guidance, had no structure, had no idea what he wanted to do in life. He just know he wanted to be a little knucklehead. And they were telling him, like, look, you need to get yourself together. In a couple months, you're going to be 17. You've been back and forth to court and they haven't done anything to you. Nah, man, I'm good. Oh, okay, cool. You 17 now. You just got locked up again. Now, all them charges that they didn't bring on you, 16 to 15 years old, they done threw all that on you at the age of 17. Now you serving time as an adult off of all those charges previously. So they're targeting our youth. So it's our responsibility to be able to grasp our youth and be able to shift them in a different direction. If we won't do it, who gonna do it? The government ain't gonna do it.
So one thing is, like, as far as like, you know, you reaching out to the youth, one thing I want the youth is to do, y'all gotta reach back. Like, stop trying to fight everything. Cause like, you help somebody, granted, we was young before. We didn't want to hear shit everybody had to say.
True, but they still like that.
Yeah, but one thing I did realize, I didn't listen to every single thing, but I did listen a lot. Because if I fought every battle, I did everything, I'd be dead. You know what I'm saying? So I did listen. It's not like I did everything I wanted to do. If I did everything I wanted to do, I wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want the youth. We was young before too. I want them to just let their guard down and just like, let us help them. That's because we know the way. They act like we've been older our whole lives. I be telling my little cousin, I'm like, yo, I was your age plenty of times. Like, yeah, I've been there.
And they thinking they getting one over.
And they getting one over, and it's like, you better off me being an ally than me helping you, than you trying to pour the slick one, and now you can't do nothing. Now it's a dub. Like, the fuck you gonna do now? Like, now you ain't doing that. You cut off. Like, now you ain't doing that. You try to play me, it ain't going nowhere. But like, as far as like the youth, they need to listen so they won't make the same mistakes. And granted, we all have to make our own mistakes. But I'm talking about the big mistakes. I'm not talking about the small. I'm talking about the mistake that you can't come back from.
That's right.
Because everything, how many mistakes you came back from, you like, I should be dead right now.
That's right. More than enough. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want them to even have to go through that. What Ho said, Ho went through that. So I saw you had to go through that. Like, I had to do things so you wanted to go through. I had to show you certain things. So you wanted to do it.
They missing on the analysis. I don't want to listen to them. And you know what's a good movie for people to watch? I got the Hookup Part 2.
Yeah, I watched it. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even finished watching it, but I liked it though. So what's your favorite part about the movie?
My favorite part is Master P had this chicken spot, right? Mm-hmm. So they were in the chicken spot, and he had like a credit lady in his chicken spot that was helping people build their credit. So he was talking about how, you know, you get these trade lines to put on your credit, and you know, how it boosts your credit up. But then he said this one thing that I never heard of before: how to take a dead person's credit and use it as your own. And he said it was legal, right? So that was those two nuggets. Well, I already knew about one, but that nugget alone was worth the entire movie, even though it wasn't all that great. But you know,
I get you saying you took something away from it. That's how I be.
Yeah, it was subliminal messages in this movie.
Yeah,
you know, so that's what I liked about it. And I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how to do that one little part. So he said it was legal. So
so you definitely go on that. So anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to give show like your appreciation to?
Yeah, shout out to my mother, my father. Shout out to Purple Plates, my wife, my kids.
Purple Plates.
Yeah, shout out to Basha MK, my brother. Shout out to RinsRealRap.
RinsRealRap, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs and businesses out here who are striving to become great.
Can you tell the people your business, I'm gonna say your business handle, your social media handles?
Absolutely. You can find me, my name, Jason J.R. Johnson on Instagram. You can find Black Wall Street Charm City on Facebook and YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at Black Wall Street _ Charm City.
Man, I appreciate you coming in, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Rins Real Rap.